Hello, real estate agents and real estate marketers. This is Josh Brown with Rise Marketing, and this is the fourth video in a seven-part video series about my big ass guide to local SEO. If you haven't caught the first three videos, you can do that on my YouTube channel, or you can check them out at www.rise.marketing. So today we're going to be talking about how to set up your Google My Business page and optimize it for success. So let's jump right on into that. It should be pretty clear by now that you should be on the Google Plus bandwagon. I've been reiterating that over and over in this guide and in the last videos. Google's putting a lot of emphasis on Google My Business, and I think that indicates that you should be doing the same thing. Now, this video I'm trying to keep it as short as I can, but this is a rather dense section, so I'm going to gloss over some of these steps pretty quickly. I recommend you download the guide to get all of the details, but I'm going to try to cover the things that are easier to explain in a video that you might not be able to pull from the guide. So if I move too quick, I apologize, but download the guide and you'll get everything you need from there. First of all, if you don't have a Google My Business page, step 1 and step 2 will help you get that created. If you do have a Google My Business page, then you can still start this process, and Google will prompt you to search for your company, and then you will be able to find it and then go ahead and edit it. Google wants to make sure that there's not duplicate pages out there. So it's still a good way to start whether you have a page or not. Now, when you're entering in your business information, the one thing I want to keep very clear is that you need to be consistent with your business name and address. So define that right now. Use your real world business name and use the address that shows up on your business cards and the phone number that shows up on your business cards. And you want to be very clear about that, and you want to probably even put it in a document somewhere to explain to any other employees that if your business name, address, or phone number is going up anywhere around the internet, it needs to be the exact same one that you use on Google My Business. So be intentional about this right now. Decide up front what that name is going to look like, what that address is going to look like, and what that phone number is going to look like. Do that now. If you're an agent and you're not sure which address to use, hold on just a few minutes, and we're going to talk about that in a second. So you'll have to come back to this. Phone number, preferably use a local phone number. Do not use a 1-800 number. And if you can, use a landline opposed to a mobile or voice over IP. Category section. Try to make sure you have accurate categories. Google's going to ask you to enter in a main category right now. I recommend for agents that you use the real estate agents category, and if you're an office, you use real estate agency. You'll have the opportunity to add more categories later. You want to check this box. So I will explain more on the next slide, but deliver goods and services to my customer at their location, excuse me. Why you want to do that? Because we're hoping to set you up as a service area business. What that means is we want to give you the opportunity to select which areas you're going to operate in. I know most real estate agents and most offices are looking to operate in specific areas, and this gives you the opportunity to do that rather than limiting you to just the area where your business is located. So yes, I promise I understand you're not a pizza delivery company, but there's two reasons, in my opinion, that you want to set up a service area business. So number one is you are realtors, so you do actually serve people at their location. Your product is their house or houses that you're helping them sell or buy. And then number two, being set up as a service area business gives you the opportunities to select which areas you want to work within. And that gives Google an indication, okay, this person's trying to show up in search results for these areas. Whereas you can't do that if you don't check this box. Google will assume that you're only looking to be served in the area where you're physically located. So there's two ways you can go about setting yourself up as a service area business. Check that box and then hit continue, and then you'll be brought to this page here. And you can set yourself up using the radius, which is basically just you can set, say, 25 miles from your place of business, and that could be your service area. I recommend you don't do that. I would suggest you go with the zip code option for setting up your service area, and the reason why is because you can get much more specific. Google always likes specific. For your own sake, it's more targeted to the clientele that you're actually hoping to pick up, and so by doing this, you can enter just about, I believe it's an infinite number of zip codes, but just enter the ones that your company actually operates in. Whether you have to look those up online or not, I don't know, or you already have them off the top of your head, but just figure out which zip codes you're operating in and then enter all of them here in this section. Now, this brings us to the second box here on this page. I also serve customers at my business address. Basically, what this means is if you check this box, that means you accept walk-ins. People can come to your business and walk in and find someone to talk to. So if you're in an office, this is a no-brainer. You're probably going to check that box if you have a secretary or anyone to greet someone. Now, if you're an individual agent, this gets a little trickier. And so that's where this next slide comes in. I recommend you, again, download the guide and read through this because it makes more sense. I'm going to gloss over it a little bit here. But if you're an agent, you are setting up your own Google Plus page. And so in essence, you're going to be competing directly with your office for local search results. Now, some offices might not be okay with that. And if that's the case, then you're going to have to set up your Google Plus My Business page as a virtual address, meaning you're going to use your home address. So when you do that, you're not going to want to check this box. So if you're an agent setting up out of your home, do not check this box because you're not going to be able to accept customers at home. Even if you are going to take customers at your house, I recommend you don't check this box. Google knows it's a residential address, and that doesn't reflect well because Google does not like to be cheated. So do not check that box if you're working out of your house. If your broker office is okay with you having this page, this is something you might want to have a discussion with them about, then you can actually use their address as your physical business address. And then in that case, you can go ahead and check this box. This is quite a lot easier if you're in office, just go ahead and check the box. If you want more information on how all of this works, there's some links in the guide here and here that'll help you, help guide you to make that decision, which is a rather important decision. So be careful before you just decide on which one you want to work with. Now, by checking this box also, that allows you to show up in map search results. I also serve customers at my business address, tells Google you can accept walk-ins, and it tells Google to place a pin on the map so people know where your business is so they can navigate to it. So if you don't check this box, you will not show up in Google Maps. So keep that in mind as well. All right, step 6A, confirm your business. Pretty simple. Google's going to automatically set up a page for you if you hadn't had one created in the past, and then they'll ask you to verify your business. Basically, they're going to have to physically mail you a code. So they want to know that you're a real business or a real person, so that's why they're going to physically mail you the code. Go ahead and hit that now. You can verify it later, but as long as it's not verified, any edits that you make from this point on will not show up publicly. So until you verify that, none of your new information on your page will show up publicly. So I'd go ahead and have that mailed to you immediately. If you have duplicate pages, delete them. This is pretty simple. Google doesn't want to see duplicate content. Easy enough. NAP consistency. What is NAP? It's a pretty common term you're going to hear in local SEO, so get used to using it. It means name, address, phone number. Pretty simple. The reason I bring this up is because, again, I mentioned earlier, your business name, your business address, and your business phone should remain the same everywhere on the internet, whether that's your website or it's directory listing pages like Yellow Pages or Yelp or on Google+. Get very specific about what you want that to be now, how you want that to show up now. Put it in writing so everyone knows that if they see a directory listing that doesn't have the name, address, and phone number in the format that you've created, it needs to change. Google wants to see consistency. It's very important. Talk more about that in chapter 7 of this guide, or video number 7. All right, step 10, add more categories. You can add up to 10 categories total. My suggestion is only add categories that are relevant to your company. If they're not relevant, don't add them. So, but you can go into your company page, hit edit your categories, and then you can add more categories. Play around with that, but be careful not to add irrelevant categories. Now, this sounds really simple, but most businesses get this wrong. They either add incorrect categories or they add too many categories that are irrelevant, and that confuses Google. You don't want to do that. So accurate categories, add as many accurate categories as you can add. If you can only add one, stick with one, but go for accuracy first and then quantity second. Little typo there. Step number 10, we kind of started over, but that's all right. add a branded profile image. So this is basically your logo. Go ahead and upload a logo. It needs to be at least 250 by 250 pixels. I recommend a larger size, just so it shows up better all around the web on all of the different mediums, whether it's a cell phone or on your computer. So upload a logo. Again, that's really important. You're trying to brand this page. This logo could potentially show up on search engine results pages. So you really want this to be branded and look nice. Not only for your own brand image, but also because Google wants to see completed profiles. I'll talk about that a lot. Complete your profile. Fill it out. Make it as full as possible. So that starts with a logo image there. Add a branded cover photo. I get really turned off when I click through to a Google My Business page and I see this default cover photo down here, this what looks like paper origami in colors. That's Google's default background. I don't like to see that. That means that you don't put a lot of time and attention into this. So how am I supposed to know if your hours are accurate or if your address is accurate, if you never update anything on your page? So update this, get a nice branded cover photo. 1, because it adds to your brand. 2, because it tells Google that you care about their product. So if you don't have a branded cover photo, you can get one created for you at Fiverr for $5. Pretty simple. I highly recommend that you use images of people, or whether that's an image of yourself or an image of your team. Use images of people if you can get away with it. If you don't have images of people, then I recommend shooting one of your place of business or something that gives the vibe or tells your brand story more or less. All right, so make sure your profile is 100% complete. Now, when Google says 100% complete, I'm calling this the bare minimum, and Google knows that as well. But they give you this little ticker that shows you, this bar that shows you how complete your profile is. At this point, I was only about 40% complete. So get this to 100%. They will prompt you with different things you need to do that. So in this case, I needed to add more hours. Click on add hours, add your business hours. Now, most companies stop here at 100%. Don't just stop here at 100%. Google wants to see you go above and beyond 100%. So don't be most companies. Be above and beyond. Be better. So how do you do that? Step 13, add photos. And just when you finish adding photos, add some more photos. Google Plus is a very visual channel, and Google wants to see people adding a lot of photos. It helps add to your brand, but it also helps people get familiar with your business, and it adds credibility to who you are. So what type of photos do you add? Click Manage Photos, and Google will give you some options and categories for the type of photos they like to see. Photos at work, team photos, additional photos. So I recommend things like your products, those are houses, or services that you offer, anything related to your business. That could be events or awards or community programs, anything like that. So the bigger, the better the images are, the higher quality they are, the better off you're going to be there as well. So get a nice camera. If you have an iPhone or an Android, those cameras are usually good enough in and of themselves. Lots of images, very important. So this is going way above and beyond. I call this a super pro tip. Not necessary, but if you're in a very competitive market, you might want to consider doing this. Google wants to see images of your place of business. Okay, this now when people click through, say on Maps or on their search engine results page, Google wants to create a visual connection between your business and the rankings that they gave you online. So by doing this, having pictures of your business online is very important to Google. You can do this yourself, or you can use a Google trusted photographer, which it just adds one layer of vetting that tells Google, hey, this is a real legit business. They're using one of our trusted photographers to take these pictures, and that photographer will say, yes, this is a real business. It's not just some guy snapping pictures with his iPhone and he works out of his garage. All right, step 14, lights, camera, action. Google, again, it's a very visual platform, so Google likes to see high quality videos when you can get them up. A lot of companies already have these on their website, so go ahead and just upload that same video to your Google Plus page. And if you have your YouTube account linked to your Google Plus, they'll show up on both. So you kind of get best of both worlds. So I'd recommend doing that. Get some videos up on your page. Those could be about us videos, service videos. It could be an overview of your team, anything that's relevant to your company. Videos are really excellent right now for ranking in local SEO. Your intro section should be a minimum of 250 words. I recommend 400. Don't make this spammy, But add keywords. If you're a short sale company, add stuff about short sales. If you're in Houston, Texas, make sure you mention that you're in Houston, Texas. Talk about your business and use specific SEO related keywords. And then also keep this unique. Don't just copy and paste this from your website. Google doesn't like that. Google doesn't like duplicate content, especially if you have multiple Google My Business pages for different locations, which you can do. Do not have the same introductions for them. I recommend having someone from each location write the introduction so it has a very authentic feel to the introduction, and it's not canned. It's not a canned corporate response. It feels like someone from the area actually wrote it because they did. Links. You probably have a lot of other web properties, whether that's your website, your blog, other industry profiles, a YouTube channel, social media, whatever it is, any other web entity that you have, get it listed on Google+. Google wants to see that you are all around the internet, right? They want to rank prolific people. They want to rank people that create content and they're active in communities. So show Google that you're active in a lot of communities. Seasonal hours. Now this one, whether or not this is super important, I'm not sure, but you don't want people showing up on Christmas Day if your business isn't open because you forgot to change your open hours. Now there's no automated method for doing this, so you just have to change the hours manually, but I just don't forget to change them back. Now, whether Google pays attention to this or not, I don't know, but it just goes back to the fact that I can guarantee you that Google is paying attention to companies that are paying attention to their Google My Business pages. So it's just these little extra effort, this little detail that Google likes to see that's going to help you potentially rank higher. All right, step 18, we're almost there. Post to your page consistently. And then 19, engagement. This is where most companies fall short. They get their Google Plus page set up and then they just leave it there. And that's why a lot of people are like, well, Google Plus is a ghost town. Well, yes, it is, because no one's on there engaging with it. Google doesn't want to see that. They want to see you engaging with your page. That means a minimum of 1 time per week you should be posting to your page. And that doesn't have to be anything different. You could post the same things you're posting to Facebook or Twitter. Just post on your page. If you want to go above and beyond, post different stuff. But a lot of people don't have time. That's okay. Just post the same stuff you post on Facebook or Twitter. Make sure your content is geared towards your audience. You can post things like your articles that you've written, listings. You can post local news or events or other blog articles that you like. And then photos and videos are especially good for this as well. So again, post a bare minimum of 1 time per week. And then finally, engagement. If someone comments on your post, comment back. If go out into Google Plus and add some people that are in your circles. Find industry leaders in your area and add them to your circles. Those could be local businesses or partners that you have, or even potential customers, but go create circles for different groups of people. These could even be the same list segments that you have in your database, and create those as circles on Google Plus, and then start adding people to them. Google wants to see you engaged. Google wants to see influential people commenting and liking your content. So go find influential and authoritative people online and go engage with them, network with them, and then show off your content. And then if they like it, Google likes to see those influential people liking your content. That gives social proof, and that will tend to rank you higher in the search engines. So that's a pretty quick cursory course to how to set up your Google page and optimize it. Remember, it's always about going above and beyond. Don't stop at 100%. Go past that with Google. So that's it for this video number 4. If you found this helpful, don't forget to follow me for more content on Twitter, Facebook, or YouTube. You can find those links below or click on them in the video directly from here. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you on the next video.